Hello everyone and welcome to another What's for Dinner on WW. In this video, I'm going to be showing you what we had for dinner this week on WW, as well as giving you my personal points for all of these meals. But as always, check down in the description box below this video to find the ingredients, instructions, and links to my recipe builder where you can find out what these meals points are for you. Or if it is a recipe I have done a designated video on before in the past, you'll find a link to that video where in its description box you will find all of that info as well. This week we had a couple old favorites and we tried a new recipe. But let's jump in and see what we had for dinner this week. First up are buffalo chicken bombs. Now we absolutely love the different bombs, and this is probably my husband's favorite. He requested these this week, so that's why I made these. I'll try and remember to link the other bomb videos that I've done. I've done several different ones, and like I said, we just love all of them. These start with adding some low-fat cream cheese and fat-free Greek yogurt to a bowl, and then you just want to microwave that for a few seconds to get it soft. And then at that point, you're going to add some hot sauce to this, and then you're going to stir it all together really well. Next, you're going to add in some finely chopped celery, carrots, and green onions, and then also some boneless, skinless chicken breast that you've chopped up in pretty small pieces, and that is cooked. And then you're going to mix all of that together really well. I forgot to put my blue cheese in. And as I was stirring, I realized I forgot my blue cheese, so I went ahead, added that in. That's just some blue cheese crumbles, and I mixed those in as well. And then once you've got this all mixed together, you're gonna just set it aside to work on your dough. So for my dough, I've got a medium-sized bowl here, and I'm gonna add in a cup of self-rising flour and 3/4 cup of fat-free Greek yogurt. And this is just the 2-ingredient dough that I absolutely love and make and use for so many different things. So you're gonna then just mix those 2 ingredients together really well until they start to form a dough. And then you're gonna take that dough in on a lightly floured surface. And as I always say, I do factor in flour to knead and roll my dough out with. This one I think is factored at 1/8 of a cup. So I'm gonna go ahead and knead my dough for a couple minutes until it's at the point where I want it to be. And then I'm gonna take that dough, I'm going to roll it in a ball, and I'm gonna cut it into 8 equal parts, or as equal as I can get parts. I'm then gonna take each one of those parts and I'm gonna roll it out to about a 5-inch diameter circle. Once I've got 4 of these done, I usually do them 4 at a time, I'm then going to take my filling and I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons roughly of that filling to the center of each of my dough circles. Then I'm going to just gently pull up the sides and pinch that dough together on the bottom and then flip them over. Then I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna lay them on a cookie sheet that I've lined with parchment paper and work on the other 4. Now typically I do these in my air fryer. I think they're a lot better that way. But I left my air fryer in Montana this summer, so I don't have an air fryer. I've actually ordered a new one because I've just missed it so much. But anyway, definitely better in the air fryer, but they are good in the oven as well. So you can do them either way. And I will try and have cook time and temp time for both options down below. So once you've got these all done, you're gonna go ahead and baste them with a little bit of lightly beaten egg. Then you're gonna sprinkle some granulated garlic or garlic powder, whichever one you have, on top, as well as a little bit of freshly ground black pepper. Then you're gonna bake these at 425 for about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven. And here are mine. I went ahead and baked them for 15 and then I broiled for about 2 just to try and get a little more brown on mine. And here is dinner. I had 2 of these, which for me is 7 points. Along with those, I just had some baby carrots and celery sticks, and I just had them plain. I didn't have anything I wanted to dip them in, actually. So that was 0 points. And 7 points for my bombs made my dinner total for tonight 7 points. Next up is turkey pumpkin chili. Now this is a recipe that I found online And I believe I filmed it last year in a What's for Dinner probably. But it is a crock pot recipe, which I love using my crock pot and smelling whatever it is that's cooking in it all day long. So I love this one. Plus, it's got pumpkin, and again, I am all about the pumpkin at this time of year. This one is a crock pot meal, but it does start with browning your turkey in a large frying pan. That's just one of those extra steps that I realize a lot of people don't like to take when they're using their crock pot, because the crock pot is supposed to be all about easy. But I do think it's a step that's worth it because it does add a lot of flavor to get your meat browned first. So that's what I'm doing here. I've got 2 pounds of a lean ground turkey, 93.7, and I'm gonna get that cooking in there. And I'm also gonna add in some chopped red onions and get those cooking in there as well. And I'm just gonna cook those both until that turkey is browned and those onions are softened. And then at that point, I'm gonna add in some minced garlic and some freshly ground black pepper, ground cumin, chili powder, oregano, and then I'm going to cook all that together for about a minute or so. Then I'm gonna take my meat mixture and I'm gonna add it to my crock pot. And then I'm gonna add in a full can or 15 ounces of pumpkin puree. Next, I'm gonna add in a can of diced green chilies, 2 cans of rinsed and drained Great Northern beans, and you could use whatever type of bean you want. And then finally some chicken broth. And then I'm going to give this all a good stir, add some bay leaves to the top, cover and cook on low for just about 7 hours. I cooked this for just under 7 hours, and now I'm going to remove the bay leaves from it, give it another quick stir, and it is ready to go. And here is dinner. That makes about 9 cup servings. They're a little over a cup, but 9 cup servings, and a serving for me is 4 points. I went ahead and added a little fat-free Greek yogurt to mine, as well as some jalapenos for no additional points. Along with this, we are having a corn muffin. I show these all the time. I usually have some of these in my freezer that I've made ahead, and I just pull them out for meals like this. So those corn muffins are 3 points, and I will be sure to put a link to that recipe video if you haven't seen those. But 3 points for the muffin, 4 points for the pumpkin chili is gonna make my dinner total for tonight 7 points. The last thing we had this week was a new recipe that I tried out, and that was for chicken cordon bleu casserole. My family loves chicken cordon bleu. I have a recipe that I make quite a bit. I'll link that up above and down below if you want to check that out. But I thought it would be fun to do kind of a casserole version because I do love my casseroles. So I thought it would be fun to do a casserole version of chicken cordon bleu. I found a recipe online and knew I could lighten it up pretty easily to make it more Weight Watcher friendly. So that's what I did with this one. But I will be sure to put a link to the website that I found this on to give them credit, and also if you want to check it out to see what the original version was. This one starts with a large pan, and to that I'm going to add in some light butter spread. I'm just using Brummel & Brown. That's my favorite one to use. So I'm going to let that melt in there. And then once that's melted, I'm going to add in some onions, and I'm going to cook those in there until they start to soften, or for about 5 minutes or so. At that point, I'm going to add in some minced garlic, some garlic powder, and some dried thyme. I'm going to mix that in, and I'm going to let that cook in there for another minute. And then I'm going to add in some chicken broth and some rice that I've rinsed. I'm then going to give this a good stir, bring it to a boil, and then once it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn down the heat to low, put the lid on this, and let it simmer for 15 minutes. And you're not going to stir it at all during that time. After that 15 minutes is over, I'm going to leave the lid on, turn the heat off, and let it sit another 10 minutes. Then at that point, I'm going to add in some almond milk, some fat-free Greek yogurt, a can of 98% fat-free cream of chicken soup, and some chopped boneless skinless chicken breasts and chopped Canadian bacon. A little bit of Dijon mustard and some cheeses. I'm using a Mexican style blend that's low fat, and then some shredded Parmesan. So I'm gonna go ahead and just mix all of this together really well until it is well combined. Then I'm gonna take a 13 by 9 inch casserole dish. I'm gonna give it a spray with some cooking spray and pour in my rice mixture and then smooth it out. Then I'm gonna take some slices of low-fat Swiss and I'm gonna lay those on the top. I ended up using 8 slices, and what I did was I put 6 across there. I took a 7th one, cut it in half, put it on the end, and then took the 8th slice, cut it into thirds, and laid it across that top. And doing it that way gave me the best coverage. I then covered it with some aluminum foil and put it in the oven at 375 for 15 minutes. While that was baking, I went ahead and got my asparagus ready to go. I just have some asparagus here that I washed up real well and snapped the ends off of. And then I just put them on a piece of parchment paper on a cookie sheet. And I gave them a little spritz of olive oil and then a little bit of salt and some fresh ground black pepper. And this is ready to go in the oven. After this is baked for 15 minutes, I go ahead and take it back out. And then I go ahead and sprinkle some breadcrumbs on the top of it. I then am gonna put it back in my oven at 375 again and let it cook another 15 minutes or so uncovered. And I'm also gonna put my asparagus in at this time, but my asparagus is only gonna take probably about 10 minutes. All right, so I let this cook another 15 minutes uncovered. It's looking done. My asparagus is looking done as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate this up and let you know the points. Got a serving of that, which is a 9th, and that is 9 points. Got some asparagus, 0 points. So 9 points total for dinner. I'll have my hubby give that a try since this is a new recipe. I think I got it cooked long enough, but the cheese wasn't. I missed your bite.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, this is a casserole, right?
Yeah, it's chicken cordon bleu casserole.
Yeah, I mean, I like casseroles. I like chicken cordon bleu. It's got a really nice mix of flavors. The ham is nice in any chicken cordon bleu because it almost adds a sweetness. But yeah.
Now I make actual chicken cordon bleu that you really like.
Yeah.
I'll link that recipe video up above and down below if you guys haven't seen that. That's a pretty good chicken cordon bleu recipe. But now that'd be fun to try casserole form because I've never done anything like that before. Did the rice get cooked? I was worried about that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Could have gotten a little more, sure,
Okay.
but it's not off-putting at all.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you think of the points? That might be a little high.
Yeah, I heard the points. I was like, but I start to eat it, and it's like it's very hearty.
Well, and you know what else you could do is you could use cauliflower rice instead, and that would shave off a lot of points. I think that's 30 points worth of rice. I don't know right off the top of my head, but I think it's 30. So you could definitely do this with cauliflower rice. In fact, I wanted to. And then I forgot that I had wanted to, and I didn't pick up the cauliflower rice, so.
Yeah, I think that might actually add to it.
Yeah, so I think next time I do this, I will try it with that, and that will shave quite a bit of points off, because a lot of those, like I said, are coming from the rice. I don't feel bad about eating brown rice, but it does, what I should say as far as carbs go, but it does have a lot of points, so. I would suggest that as a way to shave points off of this. And like I said, I think I'm gonna try that next time I do it myself. But I think you like it though, huh? It's going. All right, well, that is chicken cordon bleu casserole. 9 points. And that was everything we had for dinner this week on WW. I hope maybe this gave you guys some ideas. And if any of these meals look like something you want to make for yourself, definitely check down in the description box below for all the info on them. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.